Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, April the 20th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in, and there's a lovely shot from Haleyville this morning as the sun is rising on a clear sky across much of the state. A few clouds visible from the Dauphin Island Skycam as we head down to the southern part of the state. Coming back into central Alabama, clear skies at Birmingham, although there's a little tiny piece of cloud over there on the eastern horizon. Surface high pressure is settling in over the southeastern United States and paving the way for a beautiful weekend. We also see in the upper atmosphere that a trough has moved by and is moving across the eastern third of the country. And of course, that is bringing northwesterly flow aloft. And so we're going to see, and we saw this morning, a rather chilly morning across central Alabama as temperatures dipped down into the lower and mid 30s. And certainly a rather chilly air mass as we look back up into North Dakota there. We can see some single-digit values for temperatures around sunrise this morning. Freezing temperatures look like they occurred in extreme northeast Alabama, at Fort Payne at 32, but we do expect to see temperatures climb nicely today into the 60s. Rainfall for the next 5 days is going to be somewhat limited, coming primarily on Wednesday for central Alabama. Storm Prediction Center is not outlooking any particular areas for organized severe storms for the next 3 days, so the weather's somewhat calm. The 06Z GFS model run, and there's the pattern, the upper air pattern forecast for today at 1 p.m. And again, we see the trough over the eastern Great Lakes that is moving on off to the east. In the meantime, we're watching a little bit of a trough over Colorado. That trough will move into the middle Mississippi River Valley on Sunday, but I think we'll see just primarily a few clouds along with that as the air mass stays pretty dry, so we shouldn't see much in the way of any kind of showers or thunderstorms. By the time we get out to Monday, that trough is kind of coming out of the southeastern U.S. and moving into the Atlantic. And once again, it looks like for us, we probably will stay dry with the likelihood of some clouds here and there. By Tuesday, we're getting under a little bit of a weak ridging with some of the westerlies a little further to the north, but we are watching the incoming trough over the eastern Rockies that will be coming our way and providing the next threat of significant rain coming on Wednesday. That trough coming out of the Rockies will be producing a low-pressure system that will move up into the Great Lakes and drag a cold front down into Texas and Oklahoma. By Wednesday, though, that trough moves by and almost a little bit of a glancing blow, so that puts much of the dynamics much further north. Although the air mass is pretty chilly behind that front as we see the 540 line coming down into extreme western Kentucky and southern Missouri. The front moves on through on Wednesday, and right now it doesn't appear that it's going to be a significant severe weather event. We can't rule out the possibility of some isolated severe storms with a cold front. After all, it is severe weather season, so we got to keep that in mind. Thursday, that trough moves by, and we get under weak ridging, but we're also watching off to the west, just to the south and southwest of the Four Corners area, a little bit of almost a closed low that is out there, but that at the surface on Thursday, we see high pressure settling in across the area. By the time we get out to Friday, it looks like ridging once again, but we are watching that trough coming out of the Four Corners area, and that's a fairly low latitude trough, and that will be responsible for generating a surface low pressure over West Texas, and that, of course, bringing rain off to our west on Friday. And then by Saturday, a week from today, we see that the trough is coming across the Mississippi River, and as it does, of course, it looks like the surface low will move up into Ohio, and that will obviously drag some sort of front down our way. Right now, pattern doesn't look especially troublesome, but of course it is that kind of time of the year, so we have to be vigilant, but right now it's certainly not a significant severe weather threat that we're looking at. Going out into future out into voodoo country, it looks like May could start off pretty warm. There's the the forecast for 1 p.m. on May the 1st for the upper air pattern, and you can see a pretty substantial ridge over the eastern half of the country with some troughiness over the northern Rockies. By the time we get out to the end of the period, around the 5th of May, the GFS suggesting that we're going to see some pretty good ridging throughout the first few days of May, but we do see that a little trough over in West Texas and eastern New Mexico that would obviously be providing some potential for at least a rain event for the southeastern U.S., but right now it looks like the long-range pattern's somewhat quiet. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. Expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful Saturday, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.